Hi, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your February 16th, 2022 full moon reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space. Actually, before we clear the energy space, I want to just thank each and every one of you so very much for all your healing energy, for all your well wishes as I am recovering from this concussion. So thank you all so much. You guys have been absolutely amazing. If I could hug you all, I absolutely would. So thank you all so much. So now let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. So let's see what the tarot has to say. How will Scorpio be affected by the February 16th, 2022 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Oh, goodness. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. All right, so we have a bit of a different setup. Let me know what you think of it. At the front right here is our rooted self. The left-hand side is our inner self. The back is our emotional self. And the right-hand side is the public arena, the public self. So let's see what the cards have to say. We have Strength, which is Leo energy, which is really quite brilliant because the full moon is in Leo. So this Leo energy is going to be quite impactful for us. And then we have the Fool. This this full moon brings a new start to us, has us moving towards something new and exciting, and has us looking at things in a whole new way, which is really quite fantastic. Then we have our inner self. We have the Nine of Swords, so we have some worry, doubt, and fear here that we need to address. And then we have the Moon. We have Pisces energy, because Pisces is represented by the Moon in the major arcana, but also we have the Moon now connecting with us, calling us forward. There's a sense of this moon bringing up things that we've kind of shoved in the closet that we don't want to look at, and yet we're going to be forced to look at what we've feared, what we've doubted, what we long for ourselves, and how we are transforming, how we are moving forward. It brings us to our emotional self. We have the Nine of Swords again, so there definitely is something that's inwardly worrisome for us. It brings us to the Two of Pentacles, finding balance, finding understanding. And then we have the Page of Pentacles, Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, a student energy, a sense of this is what I'm learning, this is what I'm discovering. We then have in the public arena, we have the Nine of Wands. So we stand in our victory, but it's like it's been a long road, and we have to stop listening to what everybody else has to say, because everybody has an opinion. They just do. And then we have the Page of Swords. This is air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. This is us being a student of our words, of our mind, of really being able to stand in our, dedication and declaration for ourselves, what we're discovering, how we're moving forward, what we're becoming. And that's going to be really important for us, just not only during this full moon, but in life in general. Now let us look at the chakra energy we need to be mindful of. Not the chakra energy, oh goodness. The energy we need to be mindful of during this time. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. This is the King of Pentacles. This is earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. We have to be mindful during this time of putting everything into a monetary, value system, saying everything has to be just like this, or it has to be just like that, because what we're going to see here is that it's different, and we're going to also find ourselves very drawn to people who we see as successful, who we see as, living the life that we want. And that's absolutely fabulous. But what we also have to be very aware of, especially during this time, is that life is right for them. They did the path that was right for them. But every single path, every single person is an individual. We need to look at the things that are right for us, but also not berate ourselves when their path isn't how we can walk, like how we can live within this world. Or if they, kind of make fun of these people who we really admire, make fun of things that are really sacredly important to us. So just being aware of that during this time, and knowing that we can still walk the road of prosperity. Now, it might not be a multi-million-dollar house and the latest car, type of thing, but a quiet life, a simple life, a beautiful life. Well, that is really quite something to be proud of, and really something that is enchanting and wonderful. So let us look at our chakra energy. And plus, a simple life, a beautiful life. A simple, calm life is something that everybody poo-poos, but something that is just so wonderful. It is so wonderful for ourselves, and that we've always been told now more and more and more. But what if we step back, and what if we say, but this is what makes me happy? This is what aligns with my heart. What if we did that? Let's look at our chakra energy. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Inner strength. And I love that. This is the solar plexus chakra. There's a sense of us breaking out of a shell that we were put in, a way that we thought we were supposed to be, and really stepping into our strength, what we are becoming, what we want, what we need, who it is that we are, not who it is that anybody else wants us to be. And as we step into that strength, we step into ourselves. And so here, it's really listening to our gut. It's really helping to heal our gut if we find that our stomach has been upset, or that our nerves have been tense, which we see with the repeat of the Nine of Swords is definitely the case. We're looking at strength. We're looking at walking forward in our determination. Here we have the full moon in Leo. Let's talk about things astrologically for a moment. The full moon in Leo says, don't let pride get in the way. And that's going to be so important. Don't let ego take over. Don't let pride take over. Don't let yourself be driven by other people's expectations. It's going to be so easy, because we want to impress. We as human beings, we're kind of genetically made to want to look at what everybody else has, look at what everybody else, thinks is important, and then try to follow that mold. But our world is so different than the world of our ancestors. I just think of even my great-grandmother who, came over to America, and whose world was so different than mine ever will be. And it's just looking at it and knowing that we've evolved so much, and that we've come technologically so far. And this is going to be a time for us where it's like, well, let me look at not what the ego is telling me that I want, not what pride is telling me that I want, but what I am telling me that I want, that I need, that is important for my soul and myself. Now, if it's beautiful things, it's beautiful things. Beautiful things get to make us happy. But it's also saying, I'm showing up for me. Now, the moon is opposite the sun, and this is a big deal because we have Leo energy, which is ruled by the sun, and we have, the moon right here, be it's Pisces energy ruled by Neptune, but Neptune does come into play during this time. And we have opposing forces really coming forward during this full moon, as they do in every full moon. As the story of the full moon begins, and again, it begins always with the moon opposite the sun, it brings our family, our home, our relationships, all into focus, as well as opportunities into focus, the opposite opportunities in our lives coming into focus. What do we want? What do we need? How are we moving forward for work? How are we moving forward for home? What is calling us forward? And that's going to be very important for us as we look at the way that doors are opening. This is a time when we seek balance, and we need to listen to our inner voice and our spirit guides and our guidance within our soul, within ourselves as we are connecting. This is a very positive, a very promising moon. This is a moon that holds a lot of opportunities because it is so calm. It is also the first full moon in 2022 that is not during a Mercury retrograde, which I know you're going to say, Dane, there's only been now 2 full moons, and of course one isn't in retrograde, but we have 8 shadow periods of retrograde coming into play. We have 4 Mercury retrogrades that are going to come into play during this time. This is going to be an intense year. It is going to be a beautiful year, but this full moon that is shining brightly on us without any planets in retrograde, without Mercury in retrograde, is giving us a clear voice, is giving us a clear understanding. Mars is conjunct Venus and Vespa, and they are in Capricorn. So here, this brings a go-getter mentality to us. We're getting things done. We're bringing to the table what we want to accomplish, what we want to achieve. The alignment here of Mars in conjunction with Venus and Vespa is in harmony with Uranus and with Neptune. This means that the energy is very centered around what we want, how we're moving forward, what we need for ourselves to move towards our dreams, towards what we desire. Neptune is the ruler of visual communication. All right, so in our inner self, we're going to be very drawn to the visual arts. We're going to be very drawn to visual understandings of things. We're going to want to see it. We're going to want to kind of look at how everything is put together, see the finer things. And as we're doing this, we're also looking towards our dreams. That's why we're going to be so influenced by people who have been able to, kind of get to where we want to be. And we're going to think, okay, if I follow that road, I'll get to where I need to be. But it's like, okay, again, that was right for them. I need to move with what is right for me, because Neptune is also known as the Lord of the unseen world. So what we're bringing is our unseen world into reality. What we're bringing is our dreams forward into our waking world. And that's why Mars and Venus are going to be so important, and their conjunction is so important, because Mars is Aries, and Venus is Aphrodite in Greek mythology, right? And they were lovers, just as they were lovers in Roman mythology. But what we have the waking world, the world of war, the world of, having to be able to know what we want and go after what we want and conquer and succeed, and the world of the heart, or the world of emotions, the world of the deeper connection of the soul. And so those two come forward during this time, and as we're embracing our dreams, we need to see that. We need to see what our heart and what our practical self needs to have our dreams come forward. Well, Uranus is all about innovation and the unpredictable, and imagination and creativity and idealism. This energy is the creative and the scientific genius. This energy is thinking outside of the box, stepping outside of the box, not ever wanting to step foot in the box of convention. And that's going to be very powerful for us. It's also important to know that the lunar nodes, both the south and the north lunar node, are activated during a full moon. And why that's important is because it said our destiny is echoed between the north and south lunar nodes. And what the lunar nodes bring us is the South Lunar Node is all about, our past. Our past lives are included in that. That's our history. That's our story. While the North Lunar Node is all about the present, what we need, what we want to accomplish, how we're moving forward within our lives. And so here, that's why they're also known as the head and the tail of the dragon. The North Lunar Node is the head. The South Lunar Node is the tail. And so we're going to find the head, it guides us, and the tail, it balances us. Our history balances us. Our, determination, our focus in the now guides us. Jupiter is in Pisces, okay? And Jupiter represents success. Jupiter brings optimism and enthusiasm, and there is an air of being able to accomplish what once seemed absolutely impossible. And remember, the energy of the full moon lasts for 2 weeks, and on the 2nd of March is the new moon in Pisces. So here at our root, we have strength. We have ourselves connecting with this full moon quite tenaciously, quite powerfully. And the strength here is not going to be the strength of the pride, the strength of the big muscles, the strength of I can physically get this done and I can have you see what it is that I can achieve. It's also the physical world, right? So I can have more brain power than another person. I can have more this than another person, more money, more success, and letting that speak for us. That's not where strength comes from. Strength is the strength of the compassion of the heart, the strength of the emotion, the strength of the connection of love. The lion can take down the woman easily, but what he's doing is walking beside her because he loves her. Love is important. This card, especially this one in the stack, always makes me think of the story of Thecla. Thecla is a Orthodox saint, right? I think she's also I don't know if she's a saint in the other canons of lore, but I do know she's an Orthodox saint. And there is in the Gnostic texts Peter and Thecla, and the Gospel of Peter and Thecla has Peter and Thecla going around trying to proselytize, right? And every time they get rounded up by the Romans, Peter runs away and Thecla gets imprisoned. And one of the times she's put in this pin to be eaten by the lions. And what happens is all the female lions go around her and protect her from the male lions. And I just see this as a strength of, I walk even with danger. And it's not saying to do dangerous things, but I am being protected. I am being guided. I am being shown. And the lion, the strength, kind of like the Aslan, is walking with me. And that's really, really beautiful. There's just such a strong connection to that here. And it's showing us that I can be the fool. I can walk forward into the unknown because I am protected. And it doesn't mean that I will never fail, I will never fall. That's not what it's saying. It is saying that because I know the strength is within my heart, within my soul, because I am determined, because I am focused, I move forward towards what I greatly desire within my own life for myself. I can make a fool out of myself, but know that I am still moving towards my success. I might have my failures, and we all do. But we know that every single hero's journey begins with people saying that person's foolish. That person's a fool. I can't believe they're going to do this. I can't believe they think they can. And so here, we know the consequences of failure. We absolutely are aware. We are aware when people laugh. But we have to be aware of not to laugh at ourselves. I was thinking about this as I was healing. I just got the idea, the thing, Sarah laughs, echoed through my head. And I think it has echoed earlier, but my short-term memory isn't as good as it should be quite yet. And it's like, okay, Sarah laughed, but she laughed at her own dream. She laughed at what it is that she wanted. Are we laughing at our own dream? Are we saying this is what I want, and yet this is impossible? This is absolutely not going to happen. Are we denying ourselves just as we are, exclaiming what we deeply desire within our lives? And so here the Fool is saying, let us not be foolish also towards ourselves. Let us not mock our own dreams and our own desires. It moves us to the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords is fear. Fear of what? The moon? Fear of the shadows? Fear of the unknown? Fear of what we don't always understand? The Nine of Swords is being way too much in our own heads. We're not resting. We're not taking care of ourselves. The moon comes forward. The moon shows us the shadows, shows us the doubts and the fears and the chaos. Are those fears hiding us away? Are we in the clutches of the monster? Or is that monster actually her greatest caregiver, the person that is protecting her? Once we face our fears, once we stare them down and say, you don't get to have control over my life, those fears become our greatest strengths. They become our allies. They become our guardians that stand around us. So when people look at us and there's confidence and there's determination and there's brilliance to us, it's like, oh, that person isn't to be messed with. Or, oh, that person means business. Now, it can be that people, because they can see the beauty within us, they'll be like, oh, I'm going to go after that person. That person needs to be brought down a bit. That person is too arrogant for their own good. We're not arrogant. We're confident within ourselves. There's a difference. It moves us to our heart. And again, we have that fear. We have that doubt moving forward. Why? Because we're trying to balance everything and we're forgetting to balance ourselves. It is going to be so important during this moon to say, I matter. I'm balancing me for the next 2 weeks to come as we move towards the full moon in Pisces, which is going to affect us inwardly quite substantially. We're going to need to look at ourselves as trying to balance. Maybe not succeeding all the time, maybe feeling like we're spread too thin, which is completely okay and completely, par for the course of life, but we're coming into balance with ourselves. We're looking at everything that we've been juggling, everything that we're trying to do perfectly, and realizing nothing is perfect. I am balancing myself. I'm understanding myself. I'm looking at myself. I'm showing up for myself. I'm looking at the chaos of emotions, knowing that people are trying to knock me off balance with that. There's some sort of trickery that comes into play. Somebody tries to use our own emotional understanding against us. So just be aware of that. And then that leads us to being a student of our prosperity, of our bounty, of what we greatly want, of success. It's looking at things in a whole new way. And it's saying, what have I been growing? What have I been learning? What lessons have been coming my way time and time again that I am healing from and I am healing with? So with the Page of Pentacles, we start to look at maybe the new garden that we want to plant. Not saying that we have to go outside and plant a garden when spring comes, but it could be. It could be as simple as that, as literal as that. But it's also saying to us, what gifts are we being given by Spirit? That we are miserly hoarding, that we are saying, oh no, I couldn't possibly. And so we let them rot in the drawer instead of them bringing them out into the light of day and enjoying them and embracing the success of them and saying, this is, what I need to have in my life. And so we look at the gifts that are coming and we look at a new way to bring those gifts forward for ourselves and for what we desire. It brings us to the Nine of Wands. And this is strength and support and boundaries, strength and support and boundaries. So we're looking at things. We need to have our own strength. That's going to be so important. But again, it is not the, brute force strength. It is the strength of compassion. And it brings us to this sense of, this grounds me. It supports me. Strength, support, our boundaries. We need that wall between what everybody else is telling us and what we know is right for ourselves. We need to have that barrier and not let everybody else's words sway us, move us. It brings us then to being a student of our thoughts. And it says curiosity, intelligence, charm, and ambition. We start to see ourselves being able to break out of the monotony, starting to see ourselves as students. And that's so great. We always want to be the king and the queen and the emperor and the empress, but there is beauty in being the student, in being the discoverer, in being the person who is diving deeper and looking more and opening up the doors and gaining a greater understanding. And here it is with our own clarity of mind. It's being a student of the mind, of our hard work, of everything that we've, brought into our lives and brought into ourselves. The sword is the only weapon within the tarot. The sword shows us what we need to cut through, the doubts, the fears, the negativity. It also is the sign of nobility. In the medieval world, only the nobles, only the upper class were able to hold a sword. It was forbidden for everybody else. You could be put to death for it. And it took practice. It took skill. It took time. You had to have the leisure to be able to master the sword. And so here, that's what we're embracing. We're embracing the leisure to be able to look at the mind, to be able to embrace our clarity, but also the consciousness to be able to know that this is important. What am I bringing to the table? How does it move me forward? What is it that I desire? And we're beginning with a knowing. It moves us to our lunar message. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. So at our root, we have the South Node, the South Lunar Node. Don't let your past hold you back. So that's going to be so important for us because we have the doubt and the fear. And it says peace. Let peace be with you. Let it embrace you. Be in the present and find peace in the present moment. Even when we are in the heartbreak and in the pain and in the chaos, there's power in showing up for ourselves. Not constantly being in the future, not constantly, living in the past. Oh, I shoulda, coulda, woulda. There's power, and it can bring peace. We might not all have the luxury of peace right now, have the luxury of calm. Because sometimes in our lives we don't. And when we're told, okay, just be peaceful and calm and everything will work out, it's like, do you not understand my life is on fire type of thing? And so here, do not let the past hold you back. Don't let it define you. Show up in the present. I've been doing a meditation since I've, hurt my head, and the meditation is called, it's a hand movement meditation, and it starts with an M. So if you Google it, you can find it super easily. But it's all about being present. It's all about being present in our movements. You meditate with your eyes open, you're present in the world, and you let all distractions kind of fall away, and you let that present wash over you. And that's where we're going to find our peace. It moves us to our inner self, our lunar inner self. And it says here, look at the bigger picture, unexpected. The unexpected comes in as we look at the bigger picture, as we embrace what it is that we want. And this is the full moon in Sagittarius. As we take aim, it brings us to hold to your vision. It brings us to our lunar emotional self. And it says power. This is the full moon. Hold to your vision. It brings us power. It brings us what we desire. It brings us beauty and intention. And this is the sense of fully being conscious during this moon, during this connection. I would even recommend to sit outside during this moon, or to take some water and get it charged by the light of the moon to heal, to connect. And it brings us then to our public arena self. And our lunar public arena self is the full moon. It says surrender to the divine and have patience. The full moon coming through, again, it's come through now in both cards. And it only shows up once in each. And so here, we are greatly impacted by the full moon. We know that because the strength card and the full moon being in Leo, the Leo energy comes through right at our root. In ourself, we have the moon shining forward. This moon is intense for us. Respect that, embrace it, and see how it is guiding us towards what we desire, want, need, what we hope for within our lives. Have patience for the roads that it opens up. Our subconscious lunar message is the new moon in Pisces. Meditate and contemplate. It will start to open up a path to us that we just didn't realize was part of our journey, was going to be something that could be in our lives for ourselves. It brings us then to our subconscious energy to be mindful of, and that's Cernunnos. Cernunnos is Capricorn energy. It is the devil energy, right? And the thing with Cernunnos isn't the devil. It's the energy of chaos. It's the energy of nature. And so we're not needing to look at this like, oh my gosh, something terrible is going to happen. It's like, no, we're breaking the chains that hold us. We're also looking at every action, be it positive or negative. Every action has a positive or negative reaction. And that's just how life works. And so here with Cernunnos, there's a sense of be mindful of our actions. Be mindful of the consequences, because things are going to come forward during this time that we just didn't expect. So be aware. It moves us to our subconscious chakra energy, chakra energy. There we go. And that's truth. This is the throat chakra, speaking the truth, speaking in our truth, living in such a way that people are like, oh, well, that wouldn't sound true for them. That wouldn't sound true for Scorpio. Embracing our throat chakra, saying what we mean and meaning what we say. That's a novelty, don't lie, and there's a sense of, as we're telling the truth, as we're not lying, as we're showing up and being honest. Yeah, some people might fall away. They don't like that. Now, it's not saying to be those brutally honest people who are just mean in their truthfulness. That's not it at all. It's not saying to be cruel. It's saying to be open and honest. And as we are open and honest, to see the doors that open for us as we do so, and see the balance and the harmony that comes into our lives as we do so. Our subconscious rooted energy is the Hierophant. The Hierophant is Taurus energy, but the Hierophant is the Pope. And the Pope was the ruler of the medieval Western world. He told kings, queens, emperors, empresses what to do, and people listened. And so here we're looking at what is right for us, and we're telling us how to move forward. What are the traditions? What are the creeds and desires that are right for us, the rules that are right for us? And it doesn't have to be a dogma. It doesn't have to be a religion. It doesn't have to be the way our parents raised us. It has to be what is right for our soul, for our energy, for us as we move forward. What are the traditions that are right for us? It's also connecting with, hard work and discipline and kind of the rules that keep society going, that's going to be important. And it is important. It moves us to our subconscious inner self. And that's the devil. Capricorn energy again coming forward. We are breaking the chains of what has mesmerized us, of what has enchanted us, of the way that we thought we were supposed to be moving forward towards what we thought we were supposed to have in order to be successful, in order to be envied by others, in order to be what we thought we should be. This is the chains that we put on ourselves. This is the chains that society puts on us. This is the chains of, whatever institution, whatever had us not being who we emotionally needed to be or need to be. And just as the vampire in old vampire movies mesmerizes their people, has them walk to their castle, has them walk to their tombs, our world puts a spell over us and says this is what happiness, this is what success, this is what prosperity looks like. And for so many, first of all, it's unobtainable. And second of all, it's a lie. Here, we're looking at what we truly need, what we truly want, what we truly desire. And it takes quieting and breaking a lot of, ideals or again, chains that we thought were supposed to be a part of us. It moves us to our subconscious emotional self, and that's the Queen of Swords. That is God's source spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, handing us a gift, right? Handing us a gift of that sword, handing us a gift of knowledge, having us be that queen. We cut through the negativity, we cut through the doubt, we cut through the fear. We embrace our voice, our mind, our clarity of insight and self. We again know that just as the student, the page of swords, has to learn, the Queen of Swords has mastered. In our hearts, we are connecting with our minds, and we're not being ruled solely by our emotions or solely by our logic. We are finding the balance of both, and therefore finding the truth of us. It moves us to our subconscious public arena self, and that is the magician. Power, action, skill. Power, action, skill. Repeated around us like a mantra, standing before the altar of our existence, claiming our power through our action, through our skill of self and realization, self-actualization. And as we do so, we claim our voice, we claim our instincts and ideas. We move forward in tenacity and greater understanding and wisdom and brilliance. And we say, this is me. This is who I need to be. This is what I need for my life. This is how I'm moving forward. Power, action, and skill. We see our blessings, and we do not shy away from them. We see our worth, and we do not diminish it. And it changes the whole game. Okay. I love that. I love that, Scorpio. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let us end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we surrender to the divine during this moon, as we embrace our power and find our peace and look at all the chaos that has held us back and start to see ourselves truthfully, openly, honestly, and bravely. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Scorpio, and may you have a blessed moon.